How's that look?
Comments.
There we go. We'll deal with the comments and hatred in a moment.
Oh my God, this is so. How do you pay attention when you see all these?
That's why I have the laptop here.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's so entertaining and distracting.
You need this? No.
Okay. So we're here now, as announced yesterday. We'll try to stay as much in Urdu as possible. Actually, completely out of time. One more moving closer.
There we go.
Okay. Just sort of a Randall, gentleman who's been handling the camera for us. Hey, Randall. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, wife.
Dare I?
There you go.
So much for that, huh? Well,
You just killed the punchline.
Mr. Randall,
we can do it again.
Mrs. Randall. Well, it's on record. Randall is Aisha's very lucky husband.
Very lucky.
And you're a lucky wife. Because you know what? When I met him earlier, I thought he's the lucky one, but you know what?
It's true.
This guy's a perfect gentleman.
He is,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to switch back and forth from Urdu and English. Thanks, man.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Aisha is the most beautiful married woman in District of Columbia right now. Don't make that face. You have a certificate for it. I didn't give it to you.
Well, that's a loose term. It doesn't mean that I'm the most beautiful woman. It
The
just
most
means
beautiful
that-
women who made to the contest.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
And others didn't, so that makes you the most beautiful.
All right. I'll take that.
So you either stand up and be counted or you don't count.
Okay. I'll
Now,
take
I said that for a reason. And the reason is that a lot of people are sending you nasty comments
that. I'm used to that.
on the.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. C'est la vie.
And they're also communicating with me in private. Rand, could you push this so that we get more of. No, that one. More of us and less of the ceiling? Yeah.
There we go.
If possible. Thanks, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no problem.
There you go. So, and they're sending me private comments saying I should delete the nasty comments. And I'm saying, why should I delete? Why don't you go and take Mr. Shahrukh Wahid on, who's really out there, really getting nasty about you. And all these people are saying, no, we don't want to do that. Open hame private mein ghar gaadi. I said, you know what? Either you stand with her, or you don't stand with her. Don't give me private lip service. So as a people, what's your observation? ये पाकिस्तानी ट्रेड तो है कि अच्छे लोग प्राइवेट में सपोर्ट करते हैं, बुरे लोग पब्लिक में गाली देते हैं. ये बाकी दुनिया में भी है, ये हमारे ही ट्रेड है.
I think all of the things that afflict the Pakistani people also afflict everybody else too.
At different.
Yeah, I mean, being born and raised in America, I see the same issues within America. It's just as an American, मैं अमेरिका के बारे में भी बात करती हूँ, मैं पाकिस्तानी लोगों के बारे में भी बात करती हूँ. By the way, apologies in advance. मैं उर्दू बोल तो लेती हूँ, लेकिन मैं सोचती हूँ अंग्रेजी में, क्योंकि I've been speaking English for so long. So I'm going to go. I was born and raised here.
जितनी उर्दू बोल लेती हो, उसके लिए सलाम है. You should be proud of it.
I am.
Because you know what? You don't owe it. And this is your home. This is who you are.
Yeah,
this is your identity. This is.
It's interesting क्योंकि लोग कभी-कभार कहते हैं, कभी-कभार तो नहीं, अक्सर
अक्सर
कहते हैं
कहते
कि they're, oh, you've forgotten your culture. No, we love and celebrate our culture, but I mean, you learn English in schools in Pakistan, but you don't speak it all the time, so you end up speaking Urdu most of the time.
We think in Urdu.
Yeah.
We speak in English. You
Right.
think in English. That's perfectly right. Okay. People saying they can't see you. Why can't they see you? Because you're at a funny angle. You know what? Come
Probably.
here. Want to come here?
Sure.
Yes. Let's switch chairs. Because
Take my coffee.
you're the star.
Yeah, right.
And
It's your show,
hey.
your world. I'm just living in it. Today.
My world is pretty messed up, Aisha. All right. I think my family is also sitting at home.
Oh,
my
Assalamualaikum
my
family.
niece was saying, we'll put it up. We're gonna watch this girl.
Aw,
There you go.
hello, niece.
All right.
I love nieces. They're my favorite.
You have one. You were
I
talking
have
about.
two nieces.
Mashallah. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because people are assuming you're a whore. And saying really nasty, beautiful things about you.
Yeah.
One particular person and a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And they have attacked me that I recently made a video against vulgar content on our TV. And they said, just because I got a chance to meet you or become friends with you, I'm supporting you.
Right.
And I want to answer that stupid...
Well, I want to say something first.
Please, go for it.
There's a big difference between vulgarity and somebody who crosses the line and does things that you're not used to seeing. For instance, I was born and raised in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I may wear certain things. Everybody talks about the bikini that I wore in a swimsuit competition. When I won the title of Miss Pakistan World back in 2009. So we're going to get this out of the way right now.
Oh, please, have your say.
I wore a bikini on stage for about 30 seconds because I was going and representing Pakistan on an international platform. I'm playing by their rules. What they're failing to see is everything else that I did. I'm going to give you an example, okay? When I was at Miss Earth, which was the top 3rd pageant in the entire world, and there were press conferences being held where people are asking me, oh, does Pakistan hate America? Does Pakistan beat their women? Does Pakistan educate their women? And I said, yes, they do. And through my interaction with them, that's when I was able to change their mind. One of my roommates there was Miss Israel, who's still, I mean, I'm very good friends with all of the girls I competed with. When we left, after spending 4 weeks together, she said to me, you know what, Aisha? Back in Israel, if I were to tell people that I have a Pakistani friend or a Muslim friend, people might look at me funny. But I'm going to go back and tell them how amazing Pakistanis are and Muslims are, and you've done a great service to your country. That's what we're really doing here when we do these beauty pageants. And what a lot of people fail to see is, जब मैंने ये सब कुछ शुरू किया था, being an American, I could have gone into Miss USA and Miss America, but I didn't. And the benefit of that would have been when you go into a pageant, they look at the sash you're wearing, not just who you are. Walk into any pageant in America, I would have had so much money, sponsorships, I would have gotten much more popularity and fame, but I didn't want that. There was a point that I was trying to prove at the time, and I had to work extra hard, because Pakistan has no standing in international, beauty pageants at all. So everything that I reached through that was through my hard work and through building friendships. And I can't tell you how many minds that I've changed, how many friends that I've made all over the world who now think, now when Miss Pakistan goes to these international pageants, people are like, oh, I met Miss Pakistan years ago, and she was just a normal person. People don't expect Pakistani women to be normal people and like everybody else.
Well, unfortunately, based on the comments, I mean, the 90% people are just normal comments, but there are about 10% people who are saying things which I want to. And no offense to those who are making normal comments, I appreciate that, and
Thank
I'm
you.
not ignoring you, but the abnormal comments need to be dealt with. Mr. Shahrukh saying he didn't say anything about you, he said something about me, that I was against those women and for you. I'm going to take a moment to elaborate why that is. One, Kandil Baloch, I was never against, because she's on social media. She can do whatever the heck she wants. It's her world.
Yeah.
You don't want to see her, don't see her. But on Pakistani television, which is getting beamed into houses and bedrooms from Bannu to Gujranwala to Badim to Thatta to Jamshoro, there is a responsibility of what you show. What you do in your private lives is your matter, is your business.
Right,
so if
absolutely.
Aisha Gillani wore a bikini or danced naked on her roof, that's her problem. It's her business.
Which, by the way, never happened.
I-
For the record,
No, you don't.
I'm just-
No,
just saying.
you could be drunk, lying in a gutter. That's your life.
Right, absolutely.
I'm no one to judge or comment on that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But when you come on Voice of America, where you are talking about Pakistan, if you don't behave or
Right.
conduct yourself a certain way,
Right.
I would have a problem.
Right.
But again, Voice of America is not getting beamed, well, now it is in Pakistan, getting beamed into certain areas, which it's a conflict with who they are. I'm not invoking religion, I'm not invoking culture, I'm not invoking anything. All I'm saying is when you are in a certain situation, you have to act it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, you could be wearing a skirt, but if you go to a mosque in Turkey, they have this little sarongs and a thing. Please wear this and go in, because you're going
Right.
to a certain place. So if you're on Pakistani television, you have to conduct yourself a certain way.
Right.
Beyond that, Aisha Gillani can wear a bikini for 20 hours. I don't care. You can do whatever with your life. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I understand.
The only reason I'm proud of you today is because, yes, you are giving that image that, it's not so bad.
Thank you.
And thank you for that. Somebody's talking about your implants and about what a whore you are, and et cetera, et cetera. You know what? To hell with all those
Yeah,
people.
I mean,
And-
like I said, I have. When you put yourself in the spotlight, you are accepting that there are going to be negative comments and there's going to be good comments. Unfortunately, sometimes the negative comments, those people are louder. But there are good people out there. There are supporters out there. And if I believe in what I'm doing and I have my family's support, then that's all that matters.
They're not just louder, they're also very, very offensive.
Yeah, and they also feel bold because they're hiding behind a screen where they're not doing it to your face.
Omar Kamal Shah, I'm not talking about my beliefs. You guys have to really learn to listen. I'm talking about where you're beaming and the general situation in those areas. You have to conform to that. Okay, how do Americans react when they get to know about you being Miss
See,
Pakistan?
that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. And this is why I did this whole thing. Right now, I just recently, by the way, you beat me to the punch. I think you mentioned yesterday in the video. I hadn't announced it yet, but I recently got crowned Mrs. District of Columbia.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C., that is the capital of the United States, okay?
Right.
I'm a Pakistani American Muslim woman who is now holding that title. In Texas, I'll be fighting for the crown of Mrs. USA Earth.
Good luck.
Thank you. And then whoever wins that goes on to Mrs. Earth. When even in my show in Kahani Pakistani, I've traveled the U.S. and I basically cover stories of Americana and I show them to people in Pakistan. But what I'm also doing, what I've always done, I want to show people in America that I'm a Pakistani American. I'm also an American. I'm a citizen. But like I said, people think that Pakistanis are this weird sort of, who are they? You know, what they see on TV, they relate that to who they think that we should be. But I'm just a normal person. Whenever I would tell people, or when they would find out about me being Miss Pakistan World, they were so excited. Beauty pageants are very well respected here, in a lot of countries too. And they actually will get you into, like, professionally speaking also. They give you more credentials in your workspace. It's a respected thing because it's a lot of hard work. And because there's a lot of community service, something that I'm involved in, things like that. So people have been very, very respectful. And whenever people always ask me, though, the first thing they say, the second thing they say, first they say, wow, that's so cool. I didn't know Pakistan was in beauty pageants. The second thing they always say is, so what kind of reaction have you gotten from Pakistanis? And I always say, mixed reactions like you do with anything.
I'm loving these comments. Faisal is flirting with her. Faisal wants to bang her. And Shah Rukh Saab is repeatedly saying that I should correct and say that he didn't say anything against you. And he's just talking about double standards. Shah Rukh, I think I clearly, you'll be blocked a little after this video. I left your comment there just because I wanted to respond to it. Any of the haters will get blocked. I'm sick and tired of your hatred. But the good people, you're getting support from Texas. People are saying support from Texas.
Thank you.
Women are commenting they love your confidence.
Thank you.
To represent the Pakistan around the world, a moderate country, is the only way that she has to show off her half-naked body in front of the world. Abdul Ghafoor Saab, you do whatever you want. She does what she wants. Who are you to judge her?
Let's talk about this for a second, okay? People are so focused on this one thing about nudity. First of all, I'm not nude. Okay, let's get that straight. Second of all,
speak a little louder.
yeah, the important thing is people are so hung up on that, but they're not seeing past that. Do you know anything about the community work that I've done? Do you know what I'm doing to promote Pakistan's image in America and around the world? This is my question to these people.
Concern them. They just need to beat you down.
But the other thing is, and that's okay. You know what? You're entitled to your opinion, and I respect that. That's fine. But what people fail to see is the people that they watch Bollywood movies. How do the women dress in the Bollywood movies? Aishwarya Rai, Priyanka Chopra, we all love them, myself included. But how do they dress? It's okay when they do it. Our fashion industry in Pakistan, which is booming, don't tell me that everybody here is not at those fashion shows that happen every single night in the fashion magazines and this and that, and they idolize those models. We all dress the same way. But you are so much more than how you dress. I'm not defined by how I'm dressed. Yes, there's a difference between vulgarity and breaking the societal norm or changing people's minds about how they think I should look or dress. But I'm so much more than that. And people need to see beyond that.
People will never see beyond that. Well, I'm sorry, 99% people will see beyond that, but there's 1% people who will not see beyond that. And the only reason I'm still stuck on this is I want the 99% people to start speaking out. I want the 99% people to stop sending private messages to us and to actually respond in public and beat them down.
Right.
Because
important.
You have nothing to do with politics of Pakistan. But you look at Karachi, you were there recently. How many criminals would there be in Karachi? Maybe 10,000 people? 20,000? 30,000? 50,000 criminals in a city of 20 million? But we're all cowards and run away. If a woman is being teased, like that PTI Jalsa or a PMLN Jalsa where the girls were being attacked, there were thousands of people there. How could 10 people get away with it?
Right.
How did they get away with it?
I wonder the same. I feel like it's, I don't know, I make a lot of social media posts and I talk about cultural issues and social issues, And a lot of times I'll get comments from people on the side who will privately message me and say, Aisha, way to go for saying that. And, I agree with you. And I'm like, so then say it outright, because people are only seeing the negative comments. And people sometimes ask me that, why do you go back and forth with these people when you know you can't change their minds? For instance, when people bash Islam, I get very upset. Okay?
Oh, yes.
And I go back and forth, and I know there are people who I cannot change their mind, and I blame media for that as well. But the reason I do it is because I want, when people go and look at these conversations, they know, you know what, there are people who disagree with what this person is saying. So those people do need to speak out, but people a lot of times don't. They'll do it privately.
But interesting, what's happened is the haters have disappeared, and we're really getting a lot of fantastic unfortunately, they move too fast, and this is the first time. This is the first time I'm streaming like this, so I can't really keep up with the comments. But you're getting support from Washington. You're getting all kinds of lovely messages. My old friend Maham S is there, and she's also she said something, but I couldn't read. So and Shahrukh is still
moving so fast.
She's still stuck on that. Shahrukh, get on. You know what? If you didn't understand what I said, too bad, and I'm not going to waste more time on you. Okay, moving on. Now, मेरा एक ये पॉइंट है कि पाकिस्तान में भी वो जो औरतों की प्रोटेक्शन का बिल आया और मेरी उसमें ये प्रॉब्लम थी कि उससे कुछ नहीं होगा, बेकार बिल है, यूजलेस बिल, फॉर द रीजन बिकॉज लॉज कैन नॉट empower or protect women. It's the society which creates an environment.
I don't agree with that completely, because I think when you have laws in place, a lot of people complain about lawlessness in countries like Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
When you see that there are people who care enough to put their foot down and make these laws, then you have something that's slapped in people's faces, and then you can come after them and uphold the law and punish people for breaking the law. And it also says what the country of Pakistan will and will not take by the book, on an official standpoint.
Okay, in this particular case, the law I do not agree with, because it's a very weirdly written law. If you cuff the men and they can't come into proximity of the house, who the hell is going to monitor that cuffing? My problem is, in Pakistan, I've been screaming about this for years, an independent woman cannot exist. And I'm invoking that because you've had your ups and downs in your life, and you've survived on your own. And in Pakistan, unfortunately, if you were a divorced woman, and we were talking about early in the morning, it's a stigma.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're done.
That's not just in Pakistan.
Well, in that region.
It's here as well. It's here as well. And I'll tell you why. I'm talking about the Pakistani community here.
Right, okay.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes.
Where is she
no,
going?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and I won't say Pakistani, I would say the whole Indian
South
Pakistan,
Asian, yeah.
the South Asian, it's a South Asian stigma. Now, it's not just a stigma. That woman is also seen as a threat by other women. If she's a widow, if she's divorced, if she's single, if she's
single, period.
If she's single, period, in any
then
form.
She's seen as a threat.
She's a threat.
Right.
And that is the real problem. And secondly, अगर एक औरत खुदा ना खास्ता बेवा है, तलाकशुदा है, शादी नहीं होती, तो वो उसकी इंडिपेंडेंट जिंदगी नहीं. She is either a bourge on her parents, who must dump her as soon as possible. हम मर जाएंगे तो तुम्हारा क्या होगा? जैसे कि मुआशरा जो है वो भेड़ियों से भरा हुआ उसको खा जाएगा. या वो किसी भाई या किसी और के ऊपर बोझ बन के. An independent single woman can't go take an apartment. If she's rich, she's seen as a bad woman. If she's middle class, she's a bourge. If she's poor, she's done. जब तक ये प्रॉब्लम रहेगी, no law can protect her. क्योंकि उसको किसी ना किसी आदमी पे डिपेंड, चाहे मियाँ हो, बाप हो या भाई हो या बेटा हो, उस पे बोझ ही रहना, तो वो हर किस्म का अब्यूज लेगी.
Something that I will say, and again, this is a disclaimer. People see me as an outsider when I talk about issues about Pakistan because I'm born and raised in America. But we have to be able to constructively criticize any country. I do that with America, which is my home. I'm going to do that with Pakistan.
That's it.
Exactly. I'm going to do it with Pakistan. Pakistan is my people. It's my country. Okay? So don't be offended when I say this.
Bear with that.
Bear with that. Exactly. That's my disclaimer. Growing up as a Pakistani, even in America, yes, I do believe that we are brought up to be... The whole fact is, when you're growing up, you were in your father's house. Then you get married and you go to your husband's house. Yes, that is changing now. And there are independent women in Pakistan, but overall, I understand what you're saying. They're in smaller numbers.
No, they are no independent women in Pakistan.
There are some, but
500?
very few. Listen. Let me get to my point.
By law, a single woman can't check into a hotel in Pakistan.
Right. So listen to my point. And this I don't know. Okay. So I'm saying right because I'm just trying to get to my point.
Okay.
Even with people like my father came over here in 1970 and he's worked in corporate America, he's in Wall Street, but our culture runs so deep in us that it's hundreds and hundreds of years old. So even when I was growing up, growing up and I'm in my father's house and that's my place. And in your mind, you're thinking, okay, a lot of girls, even in America, think that I want to get married so I can have freedom. And this is why divorce is part of why. Divorce is happening everywhere. But this is part of why people are getting married so young in Pakistani culture and people are getting divorced so young, is because it's not because divorced girls are whores or because, excuse my French, but because they don't care about the culture. It's the opposite. It's because we are raised to think, I want to do what's societally accepted, what's culturally accepted. I want to make my parents happy. And dating is frowned down upon. So I'm not going to date a guy. I'm going to choose a guy that I know that my parents would be happy with, and I'm going to get married to him. And then I think, oh, finally I get my freedom. I get to play house. I have my own house and this, that. And then you go on there. And then depending on which situation you're in, you very well may up in another situation where it's his house, it's his rules, it's his world.
Mahmood says financial independence is the key for women's empowerment. Yes, sir, I agree, financial independence, but the independence to exist independently is missing. A single woman will be seen poorly, will be under threat. Very few women. I have friends who are, at least two people I know, two single mothers who are living alone. But the trouble they're going through is also known to me.
Yeah.
It's not a simple life.
It's difficult.
And that is the reason they will keep taking crap. From people. And that's where I think the rest of the world, the un-Islamic world, well, India has the same problems.
I don't think
it's not religion-based, it's area-based. I think that's where it excels, and that's where women like you have been able to exist, even though you've had your own roller coaster of personal life and moved on. Okay, now what's next, Aisha?
Next is...
You're doing TV, you're presenting, people are saying we love your show.
Oh, thank you.
But what's next? What's bigger?
Next, I feel like something that really, really struck a chord within me. I was in Pakistan last year, by the way, for the first time in 15 years. And I visited Pakistan, I felt like a tourist almost. I went to Karachi, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Lahore. And people in Pakistan were so good to me. I didn't realize how many people were watching the show and how many women were watching the show until I went there. Everywhere I went, people took such good care of me. Something that really, really hurt me there, and this is something that I want to address, is I was telling you about this before. The way that they treat, not they, okay, again, disclaimer, this happens in America too, but this is my people in Pakistan, so it really hurt me when I saw this. I walk into the bathrooms, and there are these women that are old enough to be my dadi amma who are sitting there, cleaning up people's poop and pee. And people don't even aim properly to piss on the seat properly, and they don't care that these women are going to come up and mop up after them, and they just treat them like they're not even there, like they're invisible. And it was so hurtful for me to see that, because when I look at this woman, I think, really, she looks like she could be my tayyami or my dadi-ami or something. So every time I would go in, I would pull out money from my purse, which was a small amount to me, but for her, it apparently was enough for her to want to grab my hand and say, "Tum kaun ho? Tum kahan se aaye ho? Kuch to batao apne bare mein." And I started thinking, what is this little amount of money that I gave to her going to do for her? Is it going to keep her lights on for the month? Is it going to help her get food and clothing for the month? I don't know. But people, even when I was at PC in Karachi, and there's the man sweet old man who holds the door open, who looks like he could be my Dayabu again. And people just walk by, he says salam, people ignore him. I would stop and say salam and ask how he's doing. It's a respect thing. And I feel like people need to be more compassionate. We call ourselves an Islamic country. We are an Islamic country. But as Muslims, we need to be compassionate people. We need to take care of these people. When there's somebody on the street, true. Even in America, if I give money to a poor person, I don't know what they're going to do with it. But number one, God knows. And number two, whatever the heck they're doing with it, they need it more than I do. We need to stop and be more compassionate as human beings.
I'm going to stem away for a second, come right back and connect to this.
Yeah.
असद भट्ट ने कहा है कि भाई हमें इतनी इंग्लिश नहीं आती, उर्दू आती है, और is this just for the upper class? हमारे यहाँ जो क्लास की मौत है ना, भाई ये अमेरिका में रहती हैं, ये अमेरिकन हैं, इनकी उर्दू बहुत अच्छी है, वॉइस ऑफ अमेरिका पे माशाल्लाह शो करती
Thank
हैं।
you. मैंने
लेकिन
disclaimer
अगर
दिया था
हाँ,
वैसे
लेकिन अगर मैं
शुरुआत में।
सस्टेन्ड उर्दू में शो करूंगा तो शायद ये फंस जाए और शायद मैं भी शो ना कर सकूं।
No, no, here's the thing. Like I can even मेरा जो show है मैं pretty much मैं उर्दू में बात करती हूँ, लेकिन मैं सोचती हूँ English में. I was born and raised here. I speak English all the time. और to keep up with this gentleman here, जो बहुत तेजी से बात करते हैं और सोचते हैं, I have to switch to English so I can, you know, provide a compelling argument.
Ali, another friend of mine who's single, just commented that, Ali, I sort of missed your comment, unfortunately. She said, as a single woman, people question her life choices.
Yeah.
She's single by choice, probably, or for whatever reason. Maybe she hasn't found the right guy. Hey, good for you. But, she says people question her choices. And, okay, now coming back to what we were saying earlier, the compassion. Unfortunately, हमारे यहाँ काम करना जो है ना, वो बुरा समझा जाता है. अगर आप इंजीनियर या डॉक्टर नहीं है तो बाकी हर पेशा बेकार है. और जो इंजीनियर बन जाता है वो कहते हैं मैं सारी ज़िंदगी इंजीनियर रहूँगा. मेरी तालीम इंजीनियरिंग है, which I don't use for a penny. It's useless.
Yeah.
You don't have a degree, you're going back for a degree now?
Exactly. Yeah.
Godspeed to you. So you didn't finish college or university.
I went the backwards route, and it's so funny because when my husband, who's an Ivy League grad, when he goes and he speaks at his college panels, and he's also in filmmaking and this and that, and the students there will ask him questions. I was at a panel once recording for him, and they turned around, the conversation turned around on me and said, how did you get to where you are? Did you feel like your education helped you? And I was like, I went the opposite route. Yeah, sorry. And I don't want to say that. I feel like you make your own path. I have nieces one is in college. She's just started. And at her age, I'm going to tell her, yes, go to college because you have the opportunity. My life took a detour. It was a very unconventional route, and I loved school, and, I was doing great in it. But I had to reroute, and then life just takes its own twists and turns, and here I am back again. I'm on my professional path already, but because I want to pursue higher education for myself, I'm going back for that reason.
So, being compassionate to people is not something ingrained in our system. As children, we see that you can पागलों पे हंसना होता है और कुत्तों को पत्थर मारने होते हैं. We have no respect for animals. We have no respect for people. We do not see people for who they are. We see people for how much money they have. Doesn't matter how they got it. We see people for what their profession is. We see people for MBA किया है कि नहीं किया, चाहे वो MBA से 2 नंबर उसने cheating करके किया हो, And unfortunately, that's what's connecting to what you said earlier. We do not see that, एक ज़माने में, and I've said this many times on television as well, जिसको आज हम भंगी या जमादार कहते हैं, उसको एक ज़माने में मेहतर कहते हैं, क्योंकि वो बेसिकली आपके लिए सफाई करता था. जो माशकी जिसको कहा गया, जो पानी पिलाता था, उसको बहिश्ती कहते थे, because he was doing the heaven's job, giving you water. तो हमारे professions confuse कर दिए गए. So that old lady who could be you or me in our old age, tables could turn. We're sitting here living a good life. Something go completely wrong in 3 minutes.
I've seen it happen to people, of course.
We could be poor, old, sick, frail, and cleaning piss balls. And you're right, we are so insensitive, and that's not a Pakistani thing, that's a global thing.
That's absolutely a global thing. I've seen this is the nation's capital of the United States of America. We have a huge homeless problem.
We also have a huge dirty toilet problem. People are just insensitive to who's going to clean it.
That's a worldwide thing.
Well, more in Asia, more in China. You'd be surprised what happened in Hong Kong.
I've been to China. Yes.
That is disgusting.
FYI, if you go to China, they don't use toilet paper, so come prepared. Yeah.
A little travel tip there?
Yeah, travel tip.
So we have to be compassionate towards people who have the most difficult jobs, the jobs you would never do. So great point there. When people are talking about the state of Pakistan, and you went to Karachi and you said things are in shambles, how do you feel about Trump almost coming in, and the political turmoil in Pakistan? What's your political opinion? I mean, I know you have nothing to do with Pakistani politics.
Yeah, I
but
don't.
But generally, what's your political view and opinion about Pakistan and
first of all,
the new Trump era?
I don't think that Karachi is in shambles, and I didn't say that.
I do.
I don't.
Sorry about
I
that.
was so fascinated by it. I did notice a big difference between Karachi and Lahore. I mean, that's kind of the difference between New York and DC. One is more green and clean, and the other isn't. As somebody who is not versed in Pakistani politics, the only thing I can say is what I have seen is that Imran Khan has evoked some emotions in people who just have become. It's as though they feel more courageous about being more outspoken to bring about change in Pakistan. Do I know that he's the best candidate? No, because I don't have the expertise to say that. But I do say that a lot of people have been able to stand up and fight for instance, when was it the poll rigging and whatnot that was happening in Pakistan during the election?
Yeah,
Am I
alleged.
saying that? Yeah, allegedly.
Mhm.
A lot of people took to social media,
Yeah.
and they were using that to kind of, poll khol diye. They were putting it out there and saying, this is what's happening, and people now have the guts to stand up and scream about it and fight about it.
Yeah, but at times you evoke people and you raise them up with false hopes, and that's why I'm against PTI, because they're giving them false hope with no plan. People think I'm supporting PML or People's Party, but I'm not. I know they're thieves, but Imran Khan is no better.
See, and I have nothing to add
You're
to
blank
that.
on that, huh?
I am. Yeah.
Would you think do you think the Trump era would be good for us?
Oh Lord. Here's what I think about
Did
Trump.
I just hear a subliminal political view?
Perhaps.
Is it just political? Is this the popular political view?
My problem with Trump is that whether or not he believes the things that he is saying, the fact is he is perpetuating hatred within people. He is playing on people's fears, and he is encouraging people to be unapologetically hateful towards people. That is not the American way. I was born and raised in this country. I spent half of my childhood in Jewish schools. I was never treated differently. Then I went to more diverse schools. And the beauty of America is that we are a mixing bowl of different cultures and this and that. And even after 9/11, there wasn't a big backlash of Islamophobia, believe it or not. When it would have made more sense for Islamophobia to be at an all-time high after 9/11, after a major catastrophic event like that, it wasn't. It's now around the elections that Pews have shown that Islamophobia is an all-time high. A lot of people believe that it's being
And you blame him for that?
manufactured. No, a lot of people say that it's being manufactured by the media.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
To play, this is what they use to play on people's fears.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he actually believes all of this stuff. I think the reason he has such a big following is because he's the guy who's different and he's saying the things that people don't want to hear.
Like Imran Khan.
Again,
Sort of.
that's your territory.
Sort of. That's my territory. Okay, I feel that Trump is getting heat for saying the unpopular thing, but what he's saying is not
It's
wrong.
popular. What he's saying is the popular
unpopular
thing.
in people like yourself. Popular in the rest of the country, obviously, but very popular.
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly. But the thing is that he's not saying he's going to beat down every Muslim. He's just saying, let's screen them better.
No, he also says he wants to put them in internment camps.
And screen them better.
And put them in internment camps.
And screen them better.
Yeah, and really?
Do you think anyone in his sane mind could do that in 2017?
That's why
Of course
I
not.
said, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he believes it. He knows that it can't happen.
But he's saying the
But
popular
there are
thing.
people, why at these Trump rallies are people getting beaten up, women and people of color and this and that? Why are they getting attacked? Because he's perpetuating. He himself even has said that I can go out into the street and pull out a gun and people would still love me. He knows how much people are blindly following him.
Globally, people are blind followers. He's cashing in on that. That's nothing but
He's a
pure,
smart man.
That's just pure politics.
Yeah. So was Hitler.
Ooh, okay.
And by the way, I'm not saying that Hitler was a smart man because I agree with what he did with. I absolutely do not condone. Saying so this isn't taken out of context.
We're talking about his technical strategy.
I absolutely
His political
condemn
strategy.
the hatred, violence, asking people to kill groups of people or any sort of violence or hatred. I am strongly against that. What I'm saying is
Inciting a negative emotion and using it to your advantage.
that's exactly
Fair.
what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
okay.
and that's what Trump does.
Okay. No, I'm not flirting, Abdullah, and stop asking the stupid questions. It's easy to say that Imran Khan is not good enough for the candidate of PM. Can you explain what should happen in Pakistan politics to change our system? Well, today is not about Pakistani politics, today is about Aisha, but still I'll answer that. Sir, मैंने कभी नहीं कहा कि इमरान खान साहब नहीं कर सकते. मैं ये भी जानता हूँ कि बाकी जितने पॉलिटिशियंस हैं हमारे वो बिल्कुल ही गलत लोग हैं, लेकिन इमरान खान की स्ट्रैटेजी बेकार है. और इमरान खान के जो फॉलोअर्स हैं नहायत घटिया और बदतमीज हैं.
Why do you say that his strategy is begun?
Because he should have worked in KPK, made it shown some results, and then gone for a bigger win. Just sitting there and crying foul for 5 years is not going to get you anywhere.
So you don't think that the country has gotten anywhere in the last few years?
The only place which has gotten anywhere is Punjab, Lahore, which is really under Shehbaz Sharif rule. The rest of the country, I'm sorry, you want to be politically correct and not say Karachi is in shambles. Karachi is in shambles.
Well, I don't think
Karachi has
it's in
been
shambles.
destroyed.
Perhaps I didn't see enough of it, but I saw it as I was so awestruck by Pakistan that I was just like, oh, it's all glittery and beautiful to me.
Karachi, the government has failed. Shahrukh is still stuck on trying to corner me, and he's saying, "How do you feel about men who police women on the way they clothe?" He's still this sad man is still obsessed with trying to prove that I made a mistake by commenting how women dress on Pakistani TV. Would you like to comment on that, please?
I mean,
The unfortunate human being
your
is still
views?
obsessed on that. Yeah.
I don't understand what his question still is. I thought you
Okay, this
addressed
is more
the
important.
issue.
I would like to hear your story. How you convinced? I missed that. I couldn't read. How you convinced your family to go into the modeling business?
It was so long ago. I guess I kind of did it. And what I find is our parents evolve with us, especially if you're in a place where you're able to evolve. My father is very traditional, and yet he's very American too.
Go on.
Like
Did
I
you
said,
did you
he
face
worked-
resistance at home? I'm sure she would have faced it from the Pakistani society. Now the gentleman Omar Kamal Shah has repeated this question. Did you get resistance from family or the Pakistani community? How did the community see
From my
you?
immediate family, I have gotten support because they understood what the greater cause was. They were on board with me. They supported with me from the get-go. And then, like I said, it's been a learning process for us all as we've gone along. From Pakistani society, there's going to be good and bad no matter what you do. And with my fellow Pakistani people, we're very critical of people. And we're very concerned, this is outside of Pakistan too, but with what people do with their personal lives. Whenever I meet a celebrity for my show, people are always like, oh my God, what was it like meeting Mira or Rima or Veena Malik and this and that? I'm just naming them because
it's
they're
all right.
top
Sure,
people. But what was it like meeting them and this and that? And wasn't it funny? Or I judge people based on how they interact with me. I don't care what they do in personal lives. I don't care if there's rumors that somebody made a sex tape or this and that or whatever. I don't know if it's, that's their. I don't know what's true and what's not. If you are respectful with me, you are kind and you are polite, I'm going to judge you based on that. And I don't, it makes me upset when I see people bullying people in the media. Like they'll gang up on people. I feel like Mira gets bullied because I've sat down with her and had a whole conversation with her. She spoke perfect English.
Oh, that's her game.
I know that.
That's her game.
She spoke perfect English, and it's, I don't know, that's another topic.
That's her game. People don't realize that's her game.
I figured that out. And she was actually very nice to me when I met her.
She's all right.
So why would I have any issues with her? People were making fun of her, and they keep posting these videos and making fun of her, and I said, that's not nice. Stop picking on people.
I think this question was for you. This moving too quickly, given all the support that you have, what's the first thing you would do for Pakistan?
First thing I would do for Pakistan? First thing I would do for Pakistan. I would ask society to support women being independent and, how do I even word this properly? I feel like there are a lot of people who, before I get to that, we all talk about how, this is un-Islamic, that's un-Islamic, this and that.
Speak it louder.
Everybody, sorry. What I'm saying is people sin differently. The way that one person sins is not better or worse than how another person sins. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. Stop worrying about, she was wearing sleeveless today, or she, she's divorced, or she did something that is just looked down upon in their eyes. There's so many more important things. Judge people based on what they do for the community, how they are with you,
I say still don't judge them. What you do for the community is your problem.
But it's human nature to judge.
Why?
Unfortunately, because when
meet
you, when you met me, you formed an opinion about me, right?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Some sort of opinion.
No.
Even if that opinion was, okay, I don't have an opinion about her now because I'm going to choose not to be judgmental.
No, I have no opinion about anybody. I'm being honest to God. I don't really. Who am I to form an opinion? I am going to see you. I mean, we met for the first time yesterday. We had a couple of coffees. We made a little video. Second time we've met, and I'm going to leave in about half an hour. We'll probably never meet again. Who am I to form an opinion of you? The only thing that matters to me is this 4 hours that you've spent with me, what we've talked about, how you conducted yourself. That's all I care.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's not an opinion
But
or
the
judgment.
fact that you, well, judgment, there's a different definition for the word judgment. That doesn't mean you're judging me as a person. What that means is you have formed some sort of an opinion about me. That's what I mean by the word judgment.
What you do, I don't care about. The only thing.
That's true.
Maybe that's just bizarre me.
No,
I only
'cause
care
I'm the
about
same
how
way.
you treat me.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all I
but
care.
that's an opinion, though. That's
No.
a judgment.
No, I just care for the short time. If you're not nice to me, I'll walk away. If you're nice to me, I'll stay.
Which is also an opinion.
Not really.
I
No
think
opinion. Opinion is something where I
Because
would.
if you can have the opinion that I'm nice to you, then you are of the opinion that I'm being nice to
Okay,
you. That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
maybe a frivolous debate, but yeah, okay, I concede on that.
Okay.
I'm
But that's
missing-
my point. That's my point.
What guidance do you have for women over here? The do's and don'ts in your opinion. What's your golden principle, Wajahat Lodi? Thank you, Wajahat, for a sensible.
I think it's really important to always stick to your own principles. Whatever it is that's important to you, if it's your religion, if it's what your family wants for you, whatever values are ingrained in you, that's between you and your family, that's between you and your God. But stick to your principles always and do what you believe in. There are going to be people who doubt you no matter what you do, but you still have to do what you believe
Well,
in.
they're doubters and haters, ignore them.
They're always doubters and haters.
I saw one interview of Lady Gaga, I respect tremendously. One of the people I want to at some point meet in life.
Yeah.
Because she has the most amazing concepts on life. And the interviewer asked her, people see her hermaphrodite. What would you say to that? And she said, I respect opinions of people I respect. So just hold that as a principle.
Yeah.
Respect opinions of people you respect.
Yeah.
Everybody else. I said, PTI के followers घटिया बदतमीज होते हैं. साथ में नाम में सोचने का how can I make a blanket statement? Let me tell you how I can make a blanket statement. PTI के जिस तरह यहाँ पे भी आपने देखा गंदे लोग बड़े vocal होते हैं और उसी तरह PTI के followers भी बहुत बदतमीज होते हैं यार घटिया गलीज लोग होते हैं लेकिन PTI में बहुत अच्छे लोग भी हैं लेकिन वो खामोश हैं. So silent people
See, that's what we were
are
talking
irrelevant.
about.
They're useless people.
They need
चार
to be more
गंदे लोग
outspoken,
जो कि
right.
vocal हैं, they become the representation.
Yeah.
So if 200 million Pakistanis all over the world
Yeah.
and just 5,000 are vocally bad, it just destroys everything for us. So the good people need to start
Speak up. Yeah.
Very
Absolutely.
loud.
Yeah, absolutely.
gang up,
Yeah.
become together, and take on the idiots.
Yeah. A lot of people have questioned. I've been to a lot of panels here in America where there are these religious leaders and this and that, or community leaders who will talk about the fact that should we be standing up for against people who preach Islamophobia or who people think that Pakistanis or Muslims are bad people. Some people say that we should not be. If we sit there and we say that Muslims are peaceful people, we're not terrorists, the fact that we are taking that stance means that there's some truth to what they're saying. Why should we even substantiate their arguments? I don't agree with that. I think that if I identify with the religion of Islam and there are people out there who are speaking things that I think go against what I believe and they're claiming to represent my religion, you best believe I'm going to get up there and I'm going to say, no, that is not my religion. Those people are wrong. Look at me. There are people like me who will also, if you're going to listen to them, then you should listen to people like me too and know that there are different opinions.
I missed a comment, and I really want to. Some lady, I think Saima was named. She said that beauty should not be used as a gauge, and women in Pakistan need to work on their brains, and that's the reason people yesterday were saying I'm having this conversation with you just because I'm flirting with you or you're beautiful. Da, 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 da. Unfortunately, sad for you. When I came to meet Aisha yesterday, I knew nothing about her. I had just Googled her, and I had seen a lot of hate speech towards you. And to be honest, I had just seen you in VOA. I had seen you few times. I knew who you were, and I had seen this some years ago. I had seen this whole brouhaha about your bikini Miss Pakistan business. So that's the only registry I had. So I had no idea what to expect. But you came in on time. You were dressed smart. And we had this most intelligent 2-hour conversation, which I thought we'd meet probably 30 minutes, but we ended up 2 hours.
As did I,
Intelligent conversation, and I was really impressed.
Thank you.
And I think, if I may dare say, we became friends in those 2 hours. And today we're sitting and doing this, even though I have a plane to catch. So, my message to, and I hope your message to the young ladies watching us and who would watch us in the future is, you have to understand who you are. Be comfortable with who you are, and just be smart about it. Don't be a bimbo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because in the fashion business, you can very easily become a bimbo.
Yeah, it's interesting because the fact of the matter is, when you look at a person, the first thing you see is their exterior. From the beginning of time, people are obsessed with beauty. That is true, but you are not just that. Okay, yes, women are beautiful, and a lot of times women get judged just by their looks. It's human nature. When I look at a man, I want to see that he's dressed professionally, he's neat and he's clean, and he carries himself nicely.
Absolutely.
That's true, and that's not a bad thing. You have to know how to own it and how to balance it. There
Absolutely.
needs to be substance within you, too, and you need to stand for something.
What's the beauty secret of Aisha? Let me answer that. She's beautiful in her heart.
Thank you.
And I think that reflects. You're at peace with yourself.
Thank you. I am at peace with myself, absolutely.
You wanted to talk about a thing which now we live, so I forgot to have this conversation with you. You messaged me, you want to talk about something which has affected you personally, and it is a common trait. Suicide you wanted to talk about?
Yes. I lost a sister to suicide when I was very, very young. I have an older sister who's quite a bit older than I am. They were closer in age. So I saw the devastating effects it had on my family. And this is something that it's left an everlasting effect. So whenever I see people, I'm outspoken about just issues surrounding depression and suicide and whatnot. Something that really bothers me is when I'm at work and I have the Pakistani dramas on, and this is in Indian movies too, they glamorize suicide. You know, there's something called contagion. Contagion is a very real thing. They've done studies. Back in the 1970s, there was a sociologist called David Phillips, I believe his name was. He actually uncovered that when Marilyn Monroe very publicly committed suicide in 1962, I think it was, that month alone, the episode of suicides went up by, I think, 12%. And he's not the only researcher who said that. They actually went to, I believe it was New Zealand.
Right.
Okay, so there are these suicide, I forget, they're advocacy groups.
Okay.
They worked with the media, and they said, we want to promote responsible coverage of suicide and depression-related issues. So we want you to stop glamorizing it and stop perpetuating the stigma having to do with mental illness. When they did that, suicide rates dropped down. So they saw that there is a direct correlation. The fact that in Pakistani dramas, this is what happens. There's this girl who's being I love Pakistani dramas, but this is a problem.
Oh, I hate them.
I love them because they're entertaining. But
I hate them.
But I'm not surprised.
I'm not going to let you slip with that comment.
Okay, well, listen. I don't agree with all of the ideas that are shown. Okay, I love watching Pakistani dramas
any ideas that are shown.
because it's my connection to my people, so to say. But yeah, it's frustrating. Let's say there's a bahu, bichari bahu, and she's being mistreated by her sasuma and this and that, and she's being treated so badly, and she's going to take it and take it and take it. Number one issue right there, that women should because at the end, her husband ends up falling in love with her, even though she's been mistreated for so long, but she stood there and she let them mistreat her, and at the end, she's this angel. Yeah, and she's this angelic creature, and he finally falls in love with her, and she wins him over. If there's a man who's beating you, and you are being emotionally and mentally abused, it doesn't matter how nice you are. He's not going to all of a sudden love you.
He's just a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. He's not going to love you, okay? Stop looking for that. Number two, what ends up happening is she's going to say, oh my God, I'm so upset. Let me cut myself. And then she falls and she faints. And so glamorous, the music and the wind.
The sympathy
and this sympathy. And then what happens is either she dies and she's memorialized through big Facebook posts and in the episode, or she survives, and all of a sudden everybody starts treating her nicely because they all feel bad for her.
So you have to slit your wrist to get
Yeah,
noticed.
exactly. And I've seen this happen within young people, even in America. It's glamorized. And this is a big problem.
Okay, my problem with all Desi dramas, I include India and Pakistan. I think in my kingdom, when I become king, I would first of all ban them all. Then I would
That's extreme.
I will ban them all. And everyone who
You
wrote
wouldn't
those
just rewrite them? You
No,
would
no, I would ban
them?
them.
Why?
first ban
It's
everything.
entertainment.
No, first ban. It's not entertainment. It is a disease.
Dramas are a disease.
The dramas that India and Pakistan is producing today are a disease.
I don't
I will take all these writers and directors and producers and probably lock them up for a while. Because in my opinion, drama is supposed to be formation of society, subliminal messaging with entertainment. So you would watch 30 minutes of entertainment in which you would embed.
Yeah, but this is a problem with media all over the world.
Which is?
In that you're going to cater to what you know people want, but they're going to pay money for what they want to see. It doesn't mean that they're promoting positive images anywhere.
No, I don't agree with that.
I think so.
No, you can take any sitcom in this country or even in Britain. You will see subliminal positive messaging per episode.
But there are a lot of negative issues.
The positive is embedded.
Even within America, there are groups and groups and discussions of people who discuss that the major sitcoms in America, they have subliminal messages that promote racism and sexism.
They
and
have
this and that.
subliminal messages with a plan of wherever they want to take the society. People may not agree with it, but they are.
Where is it that
You know
think they want to
what?
take
When I came to the US first, 1982, the F word was really frowned upon. Today, it's mainstream primetime TV. The media has taken it there slowly. Smoking was okay, now smoking is not okay. Now smoking is being made okay again with just a message. So media steers the society.
Yeah,
And that's the purpose of media.
Right.
What's the steering that we do? But that's one. Second problem I have is every episode of a show has to be complete in a message. The problem with our bloody shows, and I will use the word bloody blatantly, is they expect you to watch it for 6 years until she finally gets vindicated. So if you didn't watch the whole 6
okay,
years,
I will give you that. This is true.
if you don't watch the whole 6 years, you're going to say,
Agreed.
wow, this guy's really having fun. He's sleeping with his wife's mother and her daughter and his sister, and then this is what...
That doesn't happen.
He'll
in
get
Fox
screwed
News.
on episode number 58. I'm not going to watch episode 58. And they'll just drag on. There is no message per episode. So if you just pick up an episode, you're screwed. So, whereas every other... you can't... Game of Thrones is a bad example. But all sitcom, normal network television content, every episode will be conclusive in its own. So if you just watch one random episode in a plane, you would have taken the message out of
So
it.
what you're saying is that every episode has a subplot where there's a beginning and an end.
Absolutely. And that subplot would have a subliminal.
But that doesn't mean that they're
They
a disease.
They are
They're
diseased
dangerous.
because people would watch them in isolation and randomness, and they will get the wrong idea. Slitting your wrist. Never see what happens after that. Being a bad vamp woman. Oh, she's winning. Well, she will lose in episode 93. So for 92 episodes, she wins.
But it works because they know people are going to watch those 500
Yes,
episodes.
but that's where the responsibility of media comes in. It doesn't matter what sells.
There is. I'm saying there should be a
So
responsibility.
they're a disease. They are creating a society
But
which is
what
screwed
I'm
up.
saying is,
Then
I
we-
think that this happens all over the
No,
world.
it doesn't. No,
I
it doesn't.
think to an extent.
Then
it
where's
does
your problem
happen.
with the suicide episodes? Why do you have a problem with that? She
Because
eventually
contagion
wins.
is-
She eventually becomes the star. But the eventually is not important.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that
I'm saying it's a
media
disease.
should be responsible, yes. But
It's a disease.
I'm not against Pakistani dramas. I think the messages need to be changed.
Messages need to be definitely changed.
Yes.
Don't send me PDFs. I'm not going to read them. Abdul Zafar Tamari, psychologically subliminal messages exist, you dumb. Gee, Manzar, you dumb, you dumb. You didn't listen to what I said. I would say I remember the whole beauty pageant and the fiasco people made out of it, and I have followed Aisha or reached her enough to find, oh God, this is moving too quickly. How do I slow it down?
You said that, but today I followed you and found out that you're an
Oh, it
intelligent
repeats.
being.
I realize that you're an
thank you.
intelligent being. Say, thank you, Umar. Yes,
Thank you.
she's a
That's very
smart
nice
girl.
of you.
She's a very smart girl. I think it's Everywhere Bold and Beautiful was on air when I was 12 years old and still being aired. Moise, would you like to listen to what I said? A show can go on for 55 years, but
What he's saying
every
is
episode,
the episode has a beginning and an end.
Yes.
There's a
and you
a
can't leave an
subplot.
episode with a negative message.
agree
Because if
with
somebody's seen that episode in isolation, you will get the wrong message.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's where I think our shows
Yeah.
are a disease. They are.
There's Game of Thrones. It's a highly negative show, like you said yourself. So I
But
think
that's
this
not-
happens outside.
No, but
of-
that's a not a network. I'm talking about a certain kind of what. If we had a channel like HBO, what it shows, I don't care. But what our regular primetime normal cable television is showing, I have a problem.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You know, if you were showing porn at 11 o'clock on a restricted satellite channel, I don't care.
Yeah.
But if you are showing it on cable TV with channel flicking, I have a problem.
Yeah.
So, Game of Thrones, out. House of Cards, out. Netflix, out. HBO, out. But what CBS is showing, very important.
Right.
That's my problem.
Okay.
And that's where we go wrong. Okay, anything else? Have we, Aisha? We've been on for an hour. Anything else?
Yeah.
Anybody wants to say something quickly? Okay, Abdullah Zafar, you've been trying so hard to get a mention. Let me mention you. You're an idiot, and I will block you the moment I'm done with this. He said everything basically just so I would say his name. Yes, Abdullah Zafar, you're an idiot. I hope that makes you feel better. I'm really sorry to have pointed out the person who disagreed with subliminal messages. I don't know what that means. I think she's most about that beauty standards have really fallen. Mo Qureshi, get a life. If you don't like her, go away. See, another thing. People, okay, we as a society, if you look at Indian award shows, and when they get on stage, like Shah Rukh Khan or whatever, our concept of comedy is insulting other people. And I'm not saying Pakistan. I'm saying even India.
Yeah.
The whole region. We don't have wit or humor. The only concept of comedy is how to insult or humiliate the other person. Taking punches at the other person.
Is that the only way, or
That's
one
the only
way?
way. No, that's the only way. We would
Really?
insult the other. You next time watch an Indian award show, and you will see the hosts will be insulting each other.
But in jest, I mean, I feel like that happens.
No, it doesn't.
There's a lot of comedy that does that as well.
Where?
Did you watch the White House Correspondents' Dinner? That's what everybody did. Is they just insulted people, and it was hilarious.
That's a tradition of that. You see, it's not
Yeah.
television. It's not television.
But that's a brand. That's a sect of a type of comedy where you insult people, and I don't think that's the only type of comedy that we have in Pakistan.
Unfortunately, we do. All the Bhan shows we have.
What about Bulbule and what's the other show?
Bulbule is an insult to common intelligence, so I will not even go there. Before I've been thrashed enough for
It's
that.
just sometimes you want to watch something that's mindless and funny, and just makes you feel good and makes you laugh.
Mindless it is, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go there. I don't want to offend people. Half of them are.
Oh, you don't want to offend
Well,
people.
some of them are friends. I mean, you know,
Somebody record that.
I have to take heat from friends. I don't want to do that. But what I'm saying is, and that's what you see reflected here. If you think she's a dog, just don't look at her. If you think I'm a jerk, don't be here. I mean, I haven't forced you to
That's
be
true,
here.
absolutely.
And but we would make it a point to come and say, I'm not interested. You're so bad.
Right.
Why? You don't like it? Walk away, man.
Yeah, very true.
But we have to throw poop at you and then why did you do that? So there's a lot of hatred in us. Do you feel that?
I feel like for some reason there's a lot of competition and jealousy within Pakistanis living
Louder.
everywhere. There's a lot of jealousy and competition within Pakistanis living everywhere. And Pakistanis, we joke about this and we call this the crab complex. One crawls up the rock, the other one's going to pull him down and say, if I'm not getting out of here, you're not getting out of here. A lot of times we don't just help each other for the sake of helping each other. It's always what's in it for me. And there is a lot of hatred. There absolutely is.
Closing comments. What's your Twitter? It's Aisha Ash Gillani.
Yes.
I'll also post it under the comments when this comes up.
And on Facebook, I'm just Aisha Gillani.
Aisha Gillani. And do you have a URL website? No.
I do not. I have an Instagram, but I don't remember.
Okay, that's all right. We'll post her links.
Okay.
I will leave this open for the few minutes. if there are any interesting questions. You want to make any closing comments?
If there are no dramas, then what would the women do? There are lots of things they can do. Education, be active within the community. There are a lot of women within Pakistan who work for social causes and community causes. There are things that you can do. So,
Do that, huh?
yeah.
Okay, nothing. Faisal, comments on elections. What elections? Block me if you can. Abdullah Zafar has gone really. He's really gone nuts. So, okay. Thank you, Sama Khan. Thank you very much. Malik Taimur just said Aisha. You want to say Malik Taimur?
Malik Taimur.
All right.
Oh.
Well, Aisha, thank you very much. Are we going to make a commitment to do this regularly?
That would be awesome. I mean, let's see what kind of feedback we get from people. What do you think?
Oh, no, I don't think that.
I'm the nice one.
You're the one on Scandal's websites. I'm not the one on Scandal's. Look at you.
Listen, you're the one who's got the YouTube response videos with like 130,000 reviews just in response
Oh, that's
to
from
your
India.
videos.
So that's all right.
Yeah.
And mind you, a lot of these haters are actually Indians. And they're all fake accounts. Real accounts are the ones who's...
Listen, we've got haters. I've got haters that span all parts of the world.
Sure.
And lovers. Oh, that came out wrong. I don't have lovers all over the world, but people who support me and love me. There's a famous saying. Somebody said, I'm so busy. I don't have time to hate the people who hate me because I'm so busy loving the people who love me. That's the truth.
Yeah, fair. I like that. I don't have time. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, Aisha, congratulations for what you've done.
Thank you.
And good luck with Texas.
Thank you.
When is that?
September.
September.
Yeah.
And I hope Pakistanis all over the world would come out and support you because
Thank you. I hope so
because you
too.
deserve it. You've done a good job.
Thank you.
What you do with your bikini, good for you. Have fun.
There's so much more to it than that. People need to get over that. That was
No,
7 years ago.
No,
and
no.
It's not, but everybody likes to talk about it. But and that's fine, you can talk about it. But there's so much more to it than that. That was a small.
No, you see, it's
subset
okay
of
to
it.
lie. It's okay to cheat. It's okay
That's
to.
what I'm saying.
It's okay to measure incorrectly. It's okay to be late. It's okay to be dirty. It's okay to be inconvenient to
Those
the
are
society.
things that we should be more concerned
It's okay to
with.
hate. It's okay to judge. It's
Right.
okay to kill. It's okay to
Right.
rape. But don't you dare wear a
Wear a
bikini,
bikini.
you
Yep.
slutty woman.
Amen. Thank you. And that's my point.
Don't you dare do that. You god awful, horrible. Thank you, Aisha.
Thank
It's
you
lovely.
very much.
And a short commitment. We discussed it yesterday. We hope to, from remote, because I'm coming back to Pakistan inshallah soon. We hope to do this on a regular basis. So keep watching this space, and her contacts will be up soon.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, guys.
Love this.